Hello, and welcome to NTS Trading. Thank you for joining, and I hope you enjoy your experience here. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to DM me on here, on Instagram, or email me at nothingtosomethingtrading@gmail.com. With the Discord, first thing we have here is the premium chat room. This is where people discuss their ideas, talk about setups they're seeing, post news that they see as well, and where everybody can chat and talk about trading. Next up, we have the premium watch list, and this is where I post all the setups that I'm looking for. Most of my setups are based upon trigger points, usually a number. For instance, when the QQQ gets over 322, I expect a move higher, potentially to 329. When you have these breakouts above certain levels, you can of course get fake outs, but if it's a real breakout, I think QQQ can see 329 once it breaks over 322.01. The same thing with NVIDIA, where it says over 282 can see 300, right? So once NVIDIA trades over 282.01, that means that it can head much higher, with some resistance at 293. Sometimes these setups have trend lines or moving averages that I use, like once Google breaks its 200 SMA, it's going to head down, or once Amazon holds above its 200 SMA for a few days, it can rocket higher. Usually I'll use trend channels, trend lines, moving averages, or just plain old support and resistance levels to find my plays and to get triggers. Next up, we have the program picks, which is an algorithm that I created over the course of quite a few years that helps give me an idea of what I should be looking at. I'm going to make a video that goes into more detail on this because there's a lot to talk about with this, but in general, when there's a lot of stocks that are in optimal range, let's say for tech, and there's not many in the bearish range, then I would say, that's very bullish for tech, QQQ and the stocks that are in the optimal bull range. Usually I'll give the reading a rating as well. Next up, we have the trends channel, which I've been using more often lately. Basically, I have a program that tells me the trends on multiple different time frames. You know how they say the trend is your friend? Well, it's true. And this kind of helps you have an idea of which stocks have the strongest trends and which stocks are not as strong. For instance, NVIDIA is in an uptrend in the 3-month time frame, the 6-month, and the 5-year, whereas AMD is currently in a downtrend on the 2-week and 1-month. Of course, I think that AMD can turn back up, but if it does break the support level below, then the trend can potentially take over and it could head down. Of course, the longer term trends take precedence over the shorter term trends. Next up, we have the trades section, where I usually post what I'm getting into and what I'm getting out of. Then we have the premium info section, where sometimes I post a watch list, but I also post some knowledge in there and just information that can be helpful. The important event section is where I post economic events that are happening during the week from the economic calendar, and I highlight the events that I think are the most important that could really move the market. Of course, it doesn't always move the market, the data, but it's just the data that I think is the most important, or the events. And I also post the earnings whispers as well. Finally, we have the chart section, where I post my charts, and sometimes I'll put a little bit of what I'm looking for in the video. Say like, if this breaks above 282, it can rip to 293, then 300, and then you can see the chart that I'm looking at as well, and the resistances and supports that I have and the moving averages as well. You can see like exactly how my chart's set up and where my supports and resistances are, and then I'll put what I'm thinking as well. So this can be a great place to learn and to check out what I'm doing or thinking. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or DM me, and don't be afraid to say something in the chat room. This is a respectable community. No question is a dumb question here.